Okay.
We going?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, it is Megan up at Camp Sun. I should have asked you, is the lighting okay?
I think so. You look
Okay.
radiant. How's that?
I'm trying to do these slightly more professional,
Oh.
although I am very, very, very frazzled at the moment.
Okay.
And trying to stay on point, although trying to process this new information. So, this is Megan, Camp Sunshine. There's Spanky snoring on the couch because he's fucking fantastic. You can pan over him. Little snoozeroo. Oh, okay. So, for those that follow me over on Instagram or have followed my story, you know that, and I did actually post here on YouTube as well. About a month ago, I had a tooth extracted, and that came about, and I had not mentioned on my social media anything about any pain or discomfort, and that was rather unusual because I tend to post everything about everything, ask my children. And so, but it was because I didn't have anything. And then all of a sudden I would have these weird, like I was having this back of my tongue hurt. I couldn't really describe it. And for the longest time I put off telling anybody or going to anybody because I couldn't decide if it was a doctor thing or if it was a dentist thing, like if it was in my mouth or if it was somewhere else. And that's because it was hard to describe, and it would come and it would go, and it was weird, but it got really bad. And so I finally tapped out and called my dentist, and they had an appointment like that day, and I went in, and I mean, it was a really, really quick. You were in the truck, right, honey?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you were kind of surprised with how quick I came out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the whole process was like, so I went in, and he opened my mouth, and when I told him a little bit about what I was experiencing, there was a tooth that had a gold filling in it, and he explained that was, I'm ignorant about what my tooth situation is due to some really bad dental shit. I don't think it was a root canal. I think it was just a very deep cavity filling. And I think it was, the bad experience was we called her a tooth Nazi. And I think she did this and in the process said, no, if this doesn't work, you'll need a root canal. But I'm not totally sure, but that kind of rings a bell. But anyway, it was a tooth that was compromised, and he explained that there was a large divot in my gum, like a recess in the way back that the x-ray could not show. They took multiple x-rays because they couldn't get the angle that they projected where the decay or whatever would show up. And so immediately, just upon that, I was given the name of an oral surgeon, and I called him in the truck on our way, and they happened to have an appointment at 3:00 that day for the consultation. And you came in, right, Sean, and said,
I just sat in the waiting room.
oh, for the first appointment? Because you met the doctor for the first appointment, the consultation, when we talked about...
Yeah, I think I got you in there, and then I went and...
Oh, I thought you were with me.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Okay.
I was, for some reason, I was thinking about the dentist.
Okay.
Duh.
Yeah, no,
I was in there.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because you wore Crocs, and he was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you explain him? Like, he was the typical self-assured surgeon? Like, I'm trying to be kind, because I'm not...
The hair product and the...
Yeah.
Yeah, he wore, like, Crocs
and zipped in, and was very, very flat line about his answers, snapped on, his plastic gloves, but was very straight to the point and said, we can do this, and then it just self-assuredness oozing from all sides, but no getting to know you, touchy-feely type of experience.
He could have worked on his bedside manner.
That.
What's that?
Perhaps that is what I will write in the review that I have been putting off. I'm going to go back to, I've had some really bad dental experiences. So this wasn't the greatest thing. And I was actually really, really pleased with myself and how well I handled it. And I didn't freak out or anything. When the very next day, because when I went to the desk the one thing that was the saving grace of this particular, what do you call it, office or clinic? I don't know what they call it, but the dentist place.
Oral surgeon.
Yes. Was all of the gals that worked there. They were fantastic. And so they made the experience also pleasant. I mean, there were two gals who were in love with the idea of Camp Sunshine, and they said they were going to reach out to me and come, but then again, so many people do and they don't ever reach out. So, but those were the positives. But when I went to make the appointment, they happened to have a cancellation for the very next day at like 11. So without any time to really think about it, I went the next morning and I had the tooth pulled. But again, it was weird because I didn't have a tooth pain. And then I recovered. I did it without pain medication, and it was fairly pleasant. And I didn't have any of the sensations that had led me into having the tooth extracted. And so I figured, done, that's perfect. And then the sensation came back, and it came back maybe 2 weeks after the extraction. And it was mild, and I mentioned it to Sean because I kind of do that. You know, when weird things happen, I just mention them, and it's not a complaint. It's just he's like my logbook. You know, I want to give him reports instead of just all of a sudden coming in and being like, hey, oh my God, I have something that's agonizing and I don't know what it is. So I kind of, you know, wouldn't you say I give you a play-by-play?
Yes, sometimes you like, and hopefully I remember.
Well, no, I mean, just giving you just updates of where, so when I come in and all of a sudden, hey, my tooth is, you know, not, or it's still bothering me. And you say, when did it happen? And I say, well, 2 weeks ago, but I give you, so anyway, it grew. Mm-hmm. And this morning we had a conversation about it, and he asked me, do you want to call a doctor? And I said, I'm pretty sure it's a dentist thing, because if it's in your mouth, it's a dentist thing. And he said, okay, you want to call the dentist? And I said, well, I have an appointment on the 21st, so I'm going to try to get through to that. And I said, you know, it's bearable. It hurts and it's annoying, but it's something I can definitely deal with, I think, until the 21st, or at least that's what I'm hoping. And then he said to me, he was like, what if it's something big?
Or bad.
Oh, what if it's something really bad? Which I then turned around and said, what did I say to you?
That's the
meanest thing. That's the worst thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah, worst thing I could ever say to you.
Yeah, that is the worst thing that you have ever said to me. And I explained to him later, it's like, I don't know what this is. I know it's alarmingly painful when it gets bad. Then it was weird and I couldn't explain it, but if it was tooth, you know, I don't want decay in my body and having, you know, getting other infections because I have tooth decay in my life, my mouth. I mean, my ex had gingivitis in his, or not gingivitis, is that, what's the gross, gangrene? Yeah, gangrene, isn't that? Yeah, he had a tooth that died. What? No. So I had thoughts of that, and I mean, I was a smoker, and like, what if it was some cancer of my bone or something? Because sometimes I was trying not to freak out, and so for him to say, what if it's something really bad? I was like trying to remain calm. But when we got home, it got worse. While I was cooking dinner, Sean was out making a fire, and it got to the point, I don't like going to medical assistance places. But I finally gave him a holler, and this is Friday afternoon at 7. And so, you know, realizing I might need help, it's going to be an emergency situation. And again, I hate doing that, but it had gotten bad enough as I was cooking dinner that I figured I needed to maybe go to some emergency dental appointment. And as I was finishing up dinner, and Sean really began to dig in and ask me a few more questions. And so he Googled, he's my Google doctor, And turns out I have tri. Go ahead.
Trigeminal
Ner.
neuralgia.
Trigeminal
Neuralgia.
neuralgia.
Trigeminal.
Why, you know how long it took me to say multiple sclerosis? What?
Anonymity.
No. No, no. No, no. No. There's none of that going on. There's a word I can't say, and never.
Trigeminal.
Trigeminal neuralgia. Trigeminal neuralgia. Trigeminal neuralgia. So, and as we do with everything, like it struck me, there's so many different things that I'm learning from this. I mean, I lost a tooth and I'm not going to say no reason, because it definitely was, as I said, compromised, and it took, oh God, it took hella, the guy had to yank on it. I told Sean it was almost like a cartoon situation.
Standing on your chest.
Standing on my chest, yanking, because it wouldn't come out. And the root broke off, and he told me that was evidence that it was damaged. And it was a weird experience, because I was told that I would have stitches, and I didn't have stitches, and I was told I would be on antibiotics, and I wasn't on antibiotics. So my guess is that it was a false extraction at the time. Like, it could have happened later, like it had not gone bad, but potentially it was going to go bad. I don't know. No accusations being thrown here. Just saying my sense of it. I mean, it seems like it took him an awful hard time. Maybe he broke the root, you know?
Oh, maybe.
But who knows? As I said, no accusations whatsoever. But so, and it turns out the trigeminal neuralgia, which I immediately said, oh my God, that's an MS symptom. And I just started laughing. And Sean gave me a big hug, because he was like, what else? Because I've been through a lot, and I keep saying I'm healing shit. But it turns out, because Sean immediately jumped to the couch as I finished making dinner, and he began the Google doctoring. And that is what we do every time I have something wrong with me. Every single time, from the time that I went 33 days without taking a shit because of the Tecfidera, to the anemia, to having COVID, to I've been through so much with this poor man. And every time he goes and he does his research, and he suggests things, and he throws them out at me, and we find a path, and he finds information and explains things.
I'm your troubleshooter.
You are my fixer. I mean, and I am you are a fixer by nature. So, God, it's really flaring up. What was I saying? Shit. You jumped on Google.
Yeah.
And, quickly assessed that it was this, and I said it was an MS. But then in further research, I came up with some questions as I was getting the dinner, and I yelled them out to him here. It turns out that this may well, because I've never experienced it in the 18 years that I've had my MS, be also related to the menopause, which is what's blowing my fucking mind. That I keep seeing all these social media accounts that are big, they're on topics of menopause and perimenopause, mentioning that, and women are writing books, and more information is coming out about how little is known about the all-consuming implications of what MS can have on a woman, and how many different symptoms and everything. But it's like I'm hitting them good. So I now have
Trigeminal
neuralgia. I now have trigeminal.
Also, and so you got the MS, you got the menopause, and then come to find out, bananas, the potassium.
Yeah,
in the
yeah, I was
bananas.
going there. So it
Oh.
turns out I may have, so the hormones, when your hormones are in balance, but then you add things to it and it causes a flare. And I was eating bananas. We've been down taking care of the baby, and those kids were buying bananas and then not eating them because they're a little busy and not on their same routines. And so I would, because they would be beginning to go bad and I didn't want them to get fruit flies, I would put them in the freezer. And when I would make my protein shakes, I would throw a little banana in there. And so I think that, and it was funny because I just thought, because both Sean and Luke asked me when this started, and I wanted to say because I remember I said I wanted to stay that weekend away because I had this feeling in the back of my throat and stuff. Yeah, and that was the start of it. And I wanted to say I wanted to be like, since we went to start seeing baby Easton, but I didn't want anybody to think it was like stress from that or anything that was causing this, or my not sleeping. But it's the fucking bananas. So, the good news is I am not at all disheartened by this, because it sounds like there are some great exercises. And I also, because we've been going down to grandbaby, I have been neglecting my body. And I'm so on fire with other things. I'm seriously trying to work on a recipe book. My daughter and I are going to try to do a logo. I really am going to try to do some classes here this summer. I'm trying to make the things that I've been talking about happen. And as a result of that, I'm neglecting my own self and body. And this is probably also, and it's not great because I am going through the menopause stuff. And so I should be, taking it easy and coddling my body. And I'm just like, got to move forward. Oh, and I should also add, I still have those lovely hives. If you go back, they're disgusting. My daughter fucking hates me for posting them. But yeah, my body has just been through some crazy ass shit. And I have been having really horrible hot flashes, but also cold moments. So just, variance in temperature. And so, yeah, no, it's crazy what's happening. And I don't know when it stops. So it's not that different from having MS. It's just different shit, which is kind of crazy. So that is the announcement that now I can add a new hashtag to my life, or have a new experience that I can share with some people. So what am I doing to curb this pain? As I said, and we did find one YouTube video that I'm going to go back and watch, and I will definitely, because she's on the video that I posted to my to my Instagram about it. Some exercises. One being, oh God, I can't believe I'm going to do this in camera. So there's some old pictures of my young son when we were on Martha's Vineyard. Sean and I were trying to get a picture together, and he was photobombing us, and he kept coming in with this funny ass face, and we have some of the most fantastic pictures. Someday I'm going to get a big blow up of that and put it by Sean's bed. But so it's just, you sit up straight, and then you take your neck and you, right? Is that right?
Yeah, you take it in, but you don't extend it. You just go back to you take it in.
Okay.
Then you go back to your normal position. Take it in.
Okay, so I'm going to do those. Took me to sit here. And I don't know, I've taken my CBD salve, so topically, so I'm absorbing some CBD to hopefully maybe calm the inflammation. I am drinking some of the Golden Lectuary, which is a golden milk concoction that my friend Jen over at Eclectic Alchemy, again, I think I could tag her in this, drinking some of that as a pain suppressant. Ate a shit ton I made a batch of my weed granola this week with my new batch of, I don't even know if I ever got on about, I was making a mixture oil. I realized that I only had singular strain oils that I was using currently, and that I felt like the lack of terpene, terpene a variety might be lacking. I think you figured it in the video.
Just for a second.
And so I took 3 strains. One was from Kenny at Mount Baker Highway, Eagle Tree Farm. One was from Nick and Shannon, which is Lime Rising Farm. I think all of these people, I don't know if Eagle Tree has YouTube, but I will definitely link anybody I can find. And what was the third one?
SB.
Oh, and my husband's vagina. And all 3 plants that I was using for it were really, really yummy, sticky, really nice plants. So I made the strain and I have been very, very pleased with it. And I gave it, the hard thing is I don't have people to share with it here that can give me an assessment. And I explain, because of the process of how I infuse my oils and use all of the plant, what I make and is not going to get anyone like off their rocker fucking high. Although I saw the 3 people I sent to the hospital might disagree with me. So I guess what I should say is it is unlikely to give you the feared paranoia high, the heart racing, because it's more, as I said, all of the plants. So they're all of the different compounds and benefits of the plant are working together synergistically. So it's not just a high THC with only that crashing through your body. But we'll see, because I don't have a whole lot of people that I have trying it and sharing it and whatnot.
But if it helps with your trigeminal neuralgia.
Yeah. So we just can't eat the granola anymore because it hurts to chew it.
Can you puree it? Use it through a straw.
And that's the other thing. It hurts to eat, so I'm not eating. I was up some weight. I'm trying to, and I know what I need to do. I know I need to start strength training, and so I actually know I can link to these people. Klong over at Sheather Training on YouTube. That is my oldest son's adorable, fantastic, fucking awesome girlfriend, son today, BD wife, person. She has agreed to help me train because I don't want to be flabby and I don't want to be old and not muscly and everything. I want to be a badass throughout my life. And so she has agreed to help, and she has what I call don't fuck with me arms. And so she has agreed to help train, and we've gotten these TRX straps or something that my son Sam, if you don't know them, you really should just pop over and look at the videos. They're fucking fantastic. They're
funny as hell.
They're just so great. I wonder if I can start like linking clips to it or something. But Sam asked, they suggested this. Klongs has sent me a spreadsheet. Like, I'm ready to go, and I know I need to do this, and I'm actually going to take accountability and maybe see if she'll do a collab with me, or not a collab, whatever, where she trains me and we do maybe a weekly live video and share what I'm learning or something. But I want to get over this flab that has settled in on my body. But I'm also aware that something is raging through my body as far as hormones and stuff, because I, again, am broken out in hives, and now I've got this trigeminal neuralgia. Trigeminal neuralgia?
Yes.
Okay. I have to write it. I bet if I write it, I could say it. I just have to see it written.
Write it 100 times on the blackboard.
Oh, I'd love to do that. It was my favorite activity at school. Oh my God, I would beg for that.
All the times you got in trouble.
Well, so no, truth. I did love writing on this blackboard, but not a lot, because I've always loved my handwriting. and I didn't like how it was on the blackboard, so I didn't enjoy. I had never figured that out. Like, I legit thought that was a reason that I couldn't be a teacher, because I would be embarrassed. And if I have ugly handwriting, I don't want anybody to see it. Like, I take a lot of pride. I think Piper is agreeable.
Yeah.
And my mom has really beautiful handwriting, so that's a thing that comes. That's a family thing, for sure.
Not my family.
No, I have seen that, witnessed that myself.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going. I've been all over the place.
Yeah.
So another thing that menopause, I was saying Twong is gonna help me. So that is something to come. I have felt slightly, more than slightly, I have felt very frustrated, that I have worked so hard to come this far. I think your finger's in the video again.
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's not. Okay. And then it's just like I keep feeling like I'm ready and better and ready enough to attack. I want to go out and I want to share my story, and I want to be a motivational speaker, and I want to really, really help people learn that there is the ability to heal things, and that nature and using a truly naturally focused way of dealing with your health works. And then I come down with this shit, but again, I think it's the menopause, and so I think but I'm managing it. I'm not having to go and get other medicines, and now I'm losing my thoughts because I'm getting tired. What was I saying? You're not going to help me, right?
Trigeminal neuralgia. I don't know. You're just going to try and do some exercises.
Oh, yes, I'm trying to get stronger, and things keep happening. So I know that I'm going to do this. I know what it's going to take from me, and I'm scared to make the leap because I feel like my body is not in the place to do that. So I'm putting it off, and that makes me feel like I'm a loser, but I'm working on that one. But that's to come. It is definitely coming. And I think all of that will help get my body stronger, and maybe I will be able to eliminate some of these other things that are popping up and make my hormones all be happy again, because I think it's just I've been too sedentary, and I need to get things pumping and moving, and we've been not really hiking heavy with Spanky and everything, and I think everything is, and I'm not getting my massages currently, on a regular basis, so I think everything is just blah right now. So,
But summer's coming, and
I know, and we're growing really beautiful weed. Oh my gosh, so excited about it. I have a lot of vaginas though, that's for sure. So yeah, it's another feather in my cap, I guess, something that I've experienced. I'm proud of myself. I'm not at all daunted by this. I've even just that brief explanation. I understand what's going on. I understand what caused it. And, I'm very, very hopeful that I can avoid it becoming a big overriding thing. But we'll see. I always have to be very careful what I say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep. So, I think that's it. Do you have anything to say to this? I'm also just annoyed because I keep thinking I'm getting past the pain and something else new comes in. That's annoying.
You just try to keep things exciting.
I am
You're
exciting.
not
That is sure. That is for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Hard for me to keep my finger out of the video. I'm not doing too bad though.
I was thinking maybe we get out those old videotapes now that I have this. Maybe we can use those cameras. So then you could have, we have those few that we had from our...
I think I'm worse with those.
Oh, okay.
Look at my old videos of me.
Oh.
Daughter's soccer game. Even I get upset. So I'm horrible.
I totally forgot about those. Because you've deleted most of them, I'm sure.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I deleted them. I watch them and I go, oh my god.
Oh, then you have to share. I'm gonna have to
Oh,
post some
terrible.
of those because he just when Paige, his daughter, played soccer, she was an amazing soccer player, and he was such an amazing dad. He would get so excited for her, and he would be running up and down the field, but he would be filming, but he would totally forget, and you wouldn't see anything in the video.
Oh,
it would just be.
I want to erase them because they're just embarrassing.
But they're your only little snippets of those games. And I'm now rethinking all of this. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to be behind the camera. Sean can be, behind, in front of the camera.
Tripods for phones?
Oh, we do. We have this.
Oh, look at that.
Pippi gave us. You know what? We'll talk to Piper. Maybe there's like a thing that you could hold or something that's a little bit more, I don't know, not fingers in the camera view. Okay. So yeah, it when it hurts, it fucking hurts. So those people that said that it was, fucking earth shattering, I feel yeah. If I had this constantly, I mean, it's just a zing and it hurts, but it's gone away after a couple of days.
Just don't eat bananas.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to avoid bananas and potassium. I mean, I think I eat quite a bit of potassium.
And your son is potassium man.
He is. My son is potassium man. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Bye, guys.